Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm always looking for ways that I can be stronger, that I can become a stronger person, conquer my weaknesses. One of the things that I've been doing lately is to learn how to complain less. I've talked about complaining before. I want to go over it again. Gotta complain less. Make an active choice to complain less every day. A lot of people complain. I didn't really realize that I was doing it. I found that I would get in these conversations with my buddies where we would get together, and the first thing that would happen would be we each get like our allotted amount of time to just vent about work, about our friends, our family, our wives, whatever, our car, project that's going on, whatever it is, just get to complain. Your health, the last doctor's appointment, and you say, how you doing, man? What's new? Oh, well, let me tell you, I was at the doctor this week and I had a colonoscopy attack, and it just goes on and on and on. And people complain and complain and complain, and then when you can find a break in the conversation, you get a chance to complain about your stuff. So you've listened to them, and now it's your turn. First thing I've kind of questioned is, what did we get from this? What productive, because I like to have conversations go from point A to point B. We're getting somewhere. Otherwise, I could just stay silent. There's no reason to talk if we're not getting somewhere, if not learning something about each other or about a topic or coming together on something. If there's no movement, what's the point? It's just mindless chatter. And some people just really feel like that they need their chance to vent, not really to have a conversation about the shit, because I've noticed that if I try to engage people on particular points as they're running down their list of complaints, they get frustrated. They don't want you to help. They just want to complain. They just want to vent. And somehow this feels healing. This is advice that maybe your mom told you. This is kind of feminine advice. A lot of weak men bond on this type of complaining. And we'll get together and I complain and you complain. And you can just sit there and say, man, that sucks. That really sucks, bro. And that's all they want to hear out of you. They don't want advice. They don't want answers. Even if you're writhing on the floor over something simple. What's 1 + 1? Ah! And they're like, hey, bro, it's 2. They don't want answers. Shut up. Don't solve my life. Just listen to me, bitch. Right? I mean, we know about this. And when you don't get your chance, it's one thing to listen to somebody else and you just kind of endure their stuff and you're like, that sucks, man, that sucks. You don't really care. You're just waiting for your chance to bitch. But if you don't get your chance to vent and to moan and groan and complain, if you don't get your opportunity, and it's just one-sided, they just do a drive-by on you and fire off all their crap on you, dump all their load onto you, and then drive off, so to speak, not giving you your chance to do the same, then you feel robbed. You feel angry. A lot of people end friendships over this. Well, that person's just too selfish. And they're not giving me my chance. And they'll have these conversations. I'll listen to you, but you need to listen to me too. Husband and wives do this. It's a terrible way to communicate. What are you getting out of this? You're not each other's therapists. I don't think there's any psychological benefit to this shit. And what I've learned for myself is I can't stop other people from complaining. People are going to do what they're going to do, especially weak people. Weak men are going to complain. That's the siren song of the weakling, of the weak man, is to sit there and complain about his wife, complain about his job, complain about his health, complain about everything. And all they want you to do is sit there and be like, oh, that really sucks. You're suffering so hard. Oh, you're like as if that makes them more of a warrior to just acknowledge how hard their life is. They don't want you to compare. They don't want you to relate to them. If you, God forbid, if you tell one of these sorry motherfuckers, oh, hey, I can relate to that shit. I had the same thing happen to me. Let me tell you my story, what I did. Oh, no. Most people don't want to hear that kind of shit. They feel like they think you're stealing their thunder. Like, have you ever been around a bunch of dogs that all want attention from their master? And you go to pet one and another one may weasel its way in, and then they get angry at each other because they both want the attention. This is what a lot of guys do. They don't want you to chime in. They just want their chance to be on stage in the spotlight and to cry and whine about how sorry they are with their stupid lives, how much they suffer. Oh, woe is me, woe is me. I learned to stop joining in on it. I learned to not take my turn when it's my turn to do the woe is me monologue. I skip my chance. I let somebody else go. I don't need to join in on this. I realized this hanging out with my buddies. I was hanging out watching football just last weekend with some buddies. I sat there silent. 3 hours. I mean, I talk a lot. I like to talk, and I have a lot of experiences, and I like to share. I sat there for 3 hours not saying a word. I'm just going to wait. You guys can sit there and go back and forth about how much your lives suck. Complain about how your computer doesn't work, or your car needs fixing, how groceries are expensive, how you don't like this or you don't like that. Your president, isn't doing well, or the guy you voted for didn't get what he. And they complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. And I just sat there not joining in. I got nothing to say with that shit. This isn't getting us anywhere. And all it does is make you weaker. The more that you drive in the direction of your complaints, of your weaknesses, of the stuff that you feel like that you're angry about, dissatisfied with, frustrated with, and just whine about it. And you're focusing on the sensation of loss, the sensation of sorrow, of pain, of not getting your way. That's what you're focused on in that experience. Because that's what they tell when they tell the stories. That's the point of it. Why are you telling me this? Well, because it was fucked up. And they want you to be like, man, that's really messed up. The more you focused on that shit, the weaker you become. You're not strengthening yourself. You're not working through any problems by doing that. You're not solving any solutions. You're just sitting there being like, oh, life is so hard, pulling your hair out. That doesn't solve the problem. And I just look at this as a way to make myself stronger. I don't really care what you do. You want to complain and make yourself weaker by focusing on that? That's up to you. It's your choice. That's a beautiful thing about freedom, is we all have this choice that we make every day of how we want to live our lives, run our program. And I've just realized, and maybe it's selfish, that I'm not going to join in on behavior that makes me weaker. I'm not going to think thoughts that make me feel weaker. And Jordan Peterson said that. Such a great quote to live by. Don't think thoughts that make you feel weak. So I don't focus on my weaknesses to complain about them. I write down my weaknesses on a list of goals. And I plot and scheme towards conquering those in an empowered way, in a way that you try to take over a hill, you try to take turf, try to take ground. You have a plan of attack. And how is this going to happen? How am I going to win this battle? That's how I look at it. Not in just this weak bitch bullshit like children crying and whining. I didn't get my way. Life is so hard. Just ask yourself when you get involved with this types of conversations, what is this doing for me? Am I learning anything right now? Am I helping anybody right now? Sometimes it's better just to keep your mouth shut. My dad used to tell me that. Of course, it meant something different when he said it, but I've taken lessons that mean one thing and transformed them to mean something else. My dad used to say, keep your fool mouth shut. And I tell myself that sometimes when I'm tempted to join in on the weak, energy-sucking activities of losers. Stop complaining. Thanks for watching.